Mazu is an important sea goddess in Chinese religion and is worshipped by anglers and sailors. She is particularly revered in several East Asian countries, especially in Taiwan. There are many legends about Mazu. According to lore, she was born in March, so people chose March to hold a festival to honor her. At the age of 8, she could read, and at the age of 11, she followed Buddhism. She attained enlightenment and had magical powers at the age of 13. One day, her father and 2 brothers sailed the sea and met a big storm. At that time, she was weaving cloth next to her mother at home. She went into a trance to save her father, 2 brothers. However, her mother called out to her, and she could only hold 2 people. From that, every time boats at sea are in trouble, people pray and call her name. Nowadays, she is worshipped under various other names and titles. From Fujian, Mazu's inspiration spread to neighboring coastal areas and followed in the footsteps of Chinese migration to many countries where there are Chinese people. Usually there will be Mazu temples. In Vietnam,
Thiên Hậu,
temples, referred to Mazu, often appear in urban areas with Chinese immigrants, stretching from the north to the south, so the worshipping belief is still intact. The temple's architecture reflects Chinese culture, with typical ceramic statues decorated on the temple roof. Usually, the 2 sides of the temple are the assembly hall and school, where Chinese immigrants come to meet, talk, connect with the community, and teach children.
Thiên Hậu,
Temple in Chinatown, Saigon, is a good example.
Thiên Hậu,
The temple was built in 1760 by a Chinese group from Guangdong province. It was restored many times and was recognized as a national architectural and artistic relic. The temple was designed into 4-linked pavilions forming character.
của Tuệ Thành,
An assembly hall and the school are located on both sides of the temple. The temple's roof is decorated with ceramic patterns with scenes of 2 dragons and jade fairies, etc. The front hall worships the door god and has a stone stele and pictures inscribed with the legend of Mazu. The central hall has a wooden palanquin gilded with vermilion and used in the festival. The post hall divides into 3 parts, and the main part is central to worshipping the ancient wooden Mazu statue. The rest are for other deities. All the statues are dressed in splendid embroidery. Notably, all construction materials were imported from China. The temple has preserved many precious antiques, including a giant ancient bell under the
Qianlong,
dynasty in 1795, and the other bell in 1850. Visitors to the
Thiên Hậu,
temple often write their wishes on paper and hang them along with circle incense. In Thailand, Mazu is called
Chao Me Thấp Thim,
in which Cha Mer corresponds to goddess, and Tab Tim is ruby. This name is from her costume. Like Vietnam, Mazu temples also follow in Chinese migrated footsteps across Thailand. Most temples will be built near rivers or the sea. One of the oldest and typical Mazu temples is Tian Hu Shenbo Shrine, or
Bun Thau Má.
it is located at the famous Old Pier in Bang Khon Chien district, Bangkok. The temple is imbued with Chinese culture from Fujian. It is not only a meeting place for Chinese but also Thai people to pray for peace, success in life, and even for descendants. Thai people often burn incense and offer oranges with clean water. On the day of her birth, people will gather and organize traditional plays. In Taiwan, Mazu is the most important deity. Taoism was introduced into Taiwan under the Ming Dynasty, following the immigrants. During the Japanese colonial period, Taoism in Taiwan was persecuted, and Taoism temples were forced to relocate or share their space with Buddha. Maybe that is why temples in Taiwan often worship a mixture of both Taoist and Buddhistic deity. Taipei Tianhu Temple. Ximenting is one of the oldest temples in the city, associated with a strange history. Built in 1746, the temple was first named Hsin Temple, Zinzinggang. It went through 2 fires and was utterly destroyed. This temple was also changed to a Buddhist temple during the Japanese colonial era to spread Japanese culture and honor the Japanese monk Kobo Daishi. This monk is still worshipped at the temple. When Japan returned Taiwan to China, the Kuomintang government rebuilt it according to Chinese architecture and Feng Shui on the occasion of the 1000th birthday of Mazu. After that, the government officially named Taipei Tianhu Temple in 1967. Currently, Taiwan has more than 1,000 Mazu temples. On the anniversary of Mazu's birth, many Mazu shrines perform pilgrimages, bringing Mazu closer to the people. The most famous is the pilgrimage from Jinlan Temple in Daji district of Taichung and Gongshun Temple at Baishatun in Tixiao town of Miali.